Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me fine? Yes, great. My name is Kari Gruven, and I am the Art Department Director at Sealaska Heritage Institute. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for coming and being here today. And also thank you, Rosita Whirl, President of Sealaska Heritage Institute, for being here today. I also see that Albert Kukesh, Chair of Board of Director at Sealaska Corporation, is here. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm just going to give you just a quick overview of the program today before we get going for real. And David Katzik will be saying a few words and to help bring a broader perspective on the Juried Art Show and celebration. Juror David Robert Boxley will then announce the award winners. And in between and around, there will be food by Abby's Kitchen for you to enjoy. And then after all of that, the doors will open to the gallery and you can all enjoy the exhibit. And do not forget, after this event here at 6 o'clock, there will be the grand entrance at the Elizabeth Peratovich Hall. It will start there and go over to Centennial Hall. All right. So, David Katzik. Am I pronouncing it right? David Katzik. Thank you. Awesome. He is a clan leader for the Thunderbirds. He has been a member of our Council of Traditional Scholars for the past 2 decades. He has devoted much of his time to education in the Juneau in the Juneau School District and the University of Alaska Southeast. Mr. Katzik was the first president of Sealaska Heritage Foundation, which we now know as Sealaska Heritage Institute. We are honored to hear from Mr. Katzik today. Please give him a warm welcome.
Anyat Kusani, Anyat Kusani, most noble, very precious children of the earth. Gunalshish owe adeyayi de chunya, Gunalshish adeyayi de chunya. Thank you for the manner in which you're giving me your undivided attention. Anyat Kusani. Chakowe. Chakowe Yehain Kauduanik. The Katat Awe Ayakwahegu Kuchiti. Ayakwahegu Kuchiti. Long, long ago, the ancient ones told us that everything had a spirit. Kalchudasa kuste ayakwahegu atuyeyati. There is nothing here on this earth that does not have the spirit in it. Adekauduchikitiya akudati. Ade adak ejugu ane ya at uwu. Ayakwahegu awe atuyeyati. Achawe chuayadak yawus ayi yachawe wuti. This vest that I have on here has a spirit within it. And that is the reason why, when you look at this vest, it's as if the spirit of the ark has come out, the face of the Spirit. Very powerful words that our people used a long time ago to be able to teach their children about the spiritual world that really has a significant impact on human beings. This is the reason why the elders said to one another, to their children, to their grandchildren, to those who walked among them. This is why they called them noble, honorable, precious children of the earth, because of the Spirit that dwells within this earth. The next thing they would say, and I'm almost done, because, whoops, I need somebody to help me put this here's one of my relatives running up here real quick. And he is my relative. I'm not just saying that. The spirit that comes from art. This is the reason. Here's what I was going to say so that I can finish. When you go to a traditional tribal party, you're going to hear a person say, that person will say, it's not me that is doing the honor like you did, helping me put this vest back on. What a powerful, powerful way of showing relationship. I did not have to invite David to come rushing up here and help me put this vest on. This was not planned. The Spirit. So when we look at the art that is done, you're seeing the spirit of that individual, because it is a very spiritual object. And the people said, it's not me that is placing this vest back on you. I'm emotional right now because I touched a little bit of my grandmother, Margaret Judson, who's the Simpson family from Metlakatla. And there are two gentlemen here who know who I'm talking about. And you know what, David? It was like, you're not a female, but it was like my grandma came up here and helped me put this vest back on. What a powerful way of living art. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite our juror, David Robert Boxley, on stage. And as he's coming up, I'm going to say a couple of words about him. David Robert Boxley is a Tsimshian artist from Metlakatla, Alaska, and is the eldest son of the renowned carver David Albert Boxley. David began carving under the instruction of his father at 6 years old, and around this same time, he also began to travel around the United States to assist his father in raising totem poles and teaching people about Tsimshian culture. As an adult, he has continued to express the love and respect he has for Tsimshian culture through his art, culture performance, and teaching. David has also studied alongside Haida artist Robert Davidson, and with his guidance, David Robert has honored his craft to compare with the very best in the Northwest Coast art. He has taught Tsimshian language, Tsimshian culture, and Northwest Coast design in his hometown of Metlakatla, as well as in Anchorage, Juneau, and Seattle. In addition, David and his father led their dance group, the Get Home Dancers. David is well respected for his artistic abilities and for being one of the most prominent Native leaders of his generation. Thank you so much for helping us out.
Thank you. Toyek sit nusum. Simgiget, sigam hananach, kabawalksik. Toyek sit nusum de will kodik sit wa sergean. Gibam nacha di way Tsimshianu. Machlakatla di will wait ku lachgibu dipt ego. Luglu am goru de will height ku wa sergean at it go will tsabu kian. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gibam Lacha. It means wolf of the sky. I come from Metlakatla, Alaska, belong to the Lachgibu, the wolf clan. I'm very happy that you've come, and I'm honored to do what I'm about to do. Now I'll read what I have prepared. I am truly honored to have been asked to be the juror for this year's art show. I am humbled to stand among the past judges. All great artists who have stood here before me were my heroes and mentors, and I'm honored to be the first of my generation to have this role. The true beauty of Northwest Coast art is its great complexity, which is often mistaken for elegant simplicity. It isn't simple. The two-dimensional, sculptural, and woven work of our ancestors is as sophisticated as any great art form in the history of the world. From the monumental sculpture of totem poles to the intricate raven rattle, from spruce root baskets to chilkat robes, and from small designs on drums to the great house front paintings, the old masters left for us all we need to learn if we are open to it. The goal of this art show is to raise the bar, the standard by which we measure our art. I'd like to thank Sealaska Heritage Institute for that and for the opportunity to be a small part of this endeavor. I'd like to thank the artists for their courage to enter and for their hard work. It's not an easy thing to do. I've entered many juried shows. I know how it feels to be judged. I've experienced winning, and I've experienced leaving empty-handed. They have created beautiful pieces, and I am very pleased with the show. I'm looking forward to you all being able to see it. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank my teachers, the old masters with whom I've spent many hours in books and in museum collections. My thanks to Robert Davidson. Working with him was a dream come true and truly changed my life. And last but way not least, my father, David, I would not be who I am without you. You have given me an identity and a foundation to stand on. My love for our art and culture comes from you. Thank you very much. That's my speech. This is a difficult thing, being a juror for a show like this, especially being the sole juror. There's no one to bounce ideas or thoughts off of, and I'll just say out loud, I have recommended in the future maybe there's more than one judge at a time. Not for the people's sake, just for the judge's sake. I was asked to give a few general observations of the show, and the first thing I'd like to say is I want to encourage what we call established artists, people who are making a living doing this, people who show their work in Seattle and Vancouver, to participate in this show. I will be next time. And we have a responsibility, those of us who are working to push the limits of the art, to enter this show, to show up-and-comers what it is that needs to be done with the art. That's our responsibility. And I hope that message gets out to all of us. I'd like to thank, real quick, my dad for abstaining this year. It would have been a conflict of interest for him to have entered the show because I would have known it in a second. And also I'd like to thank Alison Bremner for also having to stay out, and she was very gracious to not. As far as the work that was entered, I was blown away by some pieces, and I'm really looking forward to giving awards. I'm very pleased with the show, and again, I really do take my hat off to anybody who's willing to put themselves out there. The first category that I'd like to give awards for is called customary. Now, this is a very fancy way of saying traditional. There are a few pieces that were right on the edge where I could have said, oh, it's contemporary, because there are some beautiful, you'll see some beautiful weavings inside that are traditional, except for maybe they use turquoise as on the raven's tail, and you don't see that on old pieces, but it's woven traditionally, so I said it was contemporary, or customary. Picking, this will be the last time I'm ever a judge. Okay? And I want to thank Sealaska Heritage for having me. This is allowed. This, you got me. No one else is ever going to get me. Third place. Oh, heaven help me. For a basket called Echoing Traditions, Deborah Head Ontutain. Is she here? Oh no. Okay. Some of these people might be trapped in Douglas behind the canoe crowd. Second place. Again, this is customary, traditional pieces. Second place, Wayne Price for the Quantum Raven paddle. Wayne? No, he's at the canoes too. This is going to be a quick show. First place, customary, Pauline Duncan. She's Tlingit Eagle Bear for the Raven's Tail set. Sure. Okay, customary inspired. This is a fancy way of saying contemporary. Contemporary can be just a slight twist on traditional, or it can be something way out there. Third place, Lily Hope for the Little Watchman Child Ensemble. Oh, I know this was online. Oh, no, go ahead, sit down. It was online, but I did not see names when I was selecting these things. All I had was images to go from, and even when I selected the winners, I hadn't seen who had done the pieces yet, so that's all. I want to make sure we know we're doing this on the up and up. Second place, customary inspired, Della Cheney, Leadership and Change, Ravenstail Robe. Okay, first place, Terry Rothgar, Tlingit, the Caprini Tribal Regalia, Ravenstail Robe. Terry here? No? Okay, well, the rest of the show is going to be very quick here because Wayne's not here. This new category that was introduced this year, form line, I'm hoping actually that I was selected maybe because of this category. Form line is one of the great passions of my life. The two-dimensional work of our ancestors is one of the most incredible art forms ever. It is, I want everyone, if you can, take a minute. There's a few books out there that you need to buy. The best one is called Transforming Image, Painted Arts of the Northwest Coast. I've learned an infinite amount of things from that book. And if you really look, Formline is a perfect visual representation and analogy for our culture. The black and red is the balance between the sides. It's the flow of thin to thick to thin, the positive and negative space. The entire system is about balance. It's beautiful. I love it. So I was very excited when this category was introduced, and it was. I felt a great responsibility to make sure that who received the awards for this really was going to exemplify great form line. And it happens to be a sweep. Wayne Price has first, second, and third with the 3 pieces he entered in the show. So congratulations to him. I wish he was here. Yeah, happy present to win. Oh, Wayne. So really look at his pieces. His form line is excellent. And even better, it's a rare example these days because there aren't a lot down south for me to see of fantastic Tlingit style form line. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And finally, best of show, Wayne. He has a piece in there that, again, this is difficult. This is my last juried art show as a juror. But I found that for best of show, I needed to pick the piece that I would have taken home, were I able to afford it. And he has a piece called Dancing Raven Hat, and it's elegant, and it's just gorgeous. And that's my selection for best of show. So congratulations to Wayne for best of show. I'm terribly excited about Celebration. Thank you, Rosita and Sealaska Heritage, for driving yourselves mad putting this on for us every 2 years. I'm really, really honored, like I said, to have stood where my dad and Robert and Nathan Jackson have stood doing this job. And when I called to ask their advice, they all said, "Why'd you agree to do it?" So, it truly is an honor, and thank you all for being here. Please enjoy some food and enjoy the show. And I believe, Kari, thank you, and it's very nice to meet you. She's brand new at Sealaska, so everyone be nice to her. And thank you very much.
Rosita Werlf.
Hi. I'm here to claim those prizes since I said that you had to be here to win those prizes. But first, I wanted to thank you all for coming here. I really appreciate it. I know that the canoe racing, everybody's stuck over on the other side. I heard the traffic is lined up all the way, and they're not able to get here. But so I appreciate you being here. We really wanted to get this Juried art show off the road. I know people had said that we'll never be able to be successful with their Juried art show because our people didn't know what a Juried art show was. And so we said, well, let's offer some prizes. And sure enough, you know, that would bring them in. But really and truly, we celebrate having the greatest art, I think, in the world. And I'm just so proud, not only of our master artists who have led the way in making sure that this very, very important art survives, because it is part of our culture. It is a major aspect of our culture. Art differs in so many ways for our people, because as David said, it does have those spiritual dimensions. But we've also grown it into the Western culture where we can appreciate it also for its aesthetics. And this is where I think, you know, having our younger artists learn both aspects of it is so important to us. And this is why we started the Juried Art Show, was because we wanted to support our artists. But I wanted to get up here and thank our master artists, and especially I want to say to David Boxley. David Boxley Sr., I think, has made significant contributions to our art and to our culture and to our people. Plus, he's raised a fine sons who also appreciate art. But I really and truly, I just had to get up here and say that I saw him talk. We invited him one year to do a performance we were really honoring the Angoon dancers because we wanted to be able to showcase their dancing in the schools, and we invited the public as well as in the schools. But David spent time with our high school students, and I know he had come a long way, and I know he was tired from the performance and all the work he had done, but I just have to say that I always appreciated that he took the extra time to meet with those students. And he didn't stay for just the hour lecture. He stayed because he really engaged the students. And to me, that was always so significant, you know, and I just wanted to thank him for that. Plus, he was also my grandson, Kyle Worrell's teacher, and he's mad about David as well, as we all are. But, you know, it is our goal to make Juneau and Southeast Alaska the Northwest Coast Art Capital. And that is our goal and our dream, and with your support, we're going to make that happen. And I think you're going to see the landmark facility that will become the home for that Northwest Coast Art Capital, and that's the Walter Soboleff Center. And we've got exciting times ahead of us. But I just wanted to thank you all. I wanted to thank the artists who as David Jr. said, you put yourself out there. And I know there were some people that had to recuse themselves for very obvious reasons. And I also just had to recognize Allison. Allison Bremner has been selected as the artist for the Santa Fe Indian Market. Stand up, Allison. Allison, some of her work, fantastic. Just be watching out for her art, but she was selected. So when you go to the Indian Market, you've got to go to the Indian Market, and that's what we're trying to recreate up here. And she was selected to do all of that art on the t-shirts. It'll become their official logo. So we're very, very proud of our Allison. Her daddy calls her my Allison. We want to call her our Allison. So thank you all for being here. And thank you, Carrie. Carrie, go ahead. She's our new art director and just jumped in and doing a great job.
Thank you, Rosita. Yep, I just wanted to thank a couple more people after that. I wanted to thank, obviously, David Robert Boxley, for your role here tonight. And John Loring and his helper Paul Gardenier of Alaska State Museum for doing a great job mounting the show in there. I want to thank Abby's Kitchen for making fabulous food. And just a couple of reminders before you get all free and loose and walk around and I lose you. So the grand entrance is starting at Elizabeth Peratrovich Hall at 6 p.m. So we have about an hour and 15 minutes until that. The Native Artist Market is open at the Sealaska Plaza, and it will be open throughout celebration. Tomorrow, here at the Jack, there will be informational booths and also a couple of arts vendors in here. And there will be kind of a seating area where you can hang out and relax and chill out a little bit in between things at Centennial Hall. So there will be coffee and tea out there in the lobby, and just enjoy yourself. Anything else? I have to say this because my former job is program director at the Junior Arts and Humanities Council. On Friday, there will be Food Truck Friday out there, so there will be food vendors. So there will be something for your bellies also on Friday. And otherwise, there are informational flyers in the lobby. And with that, I would say thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the show.